Okay, so it's October. I've got 2 weeks off, unplanned as always, and the weather's really horrible, it's grey, it's nasty. There's no petrol about anywhere, and my cat's head's fallen off. However, of course, I did get my hair cut a couple of weeks ago, so my hair's done. Again, it's just the top and my eyebrows, of course, which I hadn't done for a while. Other than that, I said I have got some posts from last time. Posts that I didn't get to show you in the last video. Quite a big item, actually. But it would have taken a long time to fit in that video. Was a new piece of stuff for music making which I haven't been doing for a while, and I need to get back into. And I've got a mental block, hasn't really been there to do much in the way of music, but I am thinking about doing some more. I just got to get some of the software working. It isn't working, it was working, it's now stopped for some reason, don't know why. So my Ableton's having a bit of an issue. So to go with that and other music stuff, this is really for DJing. This is something I've been after for a very long time as well. Native Instruments Tractor Control F1. I have been after one of these for a very long time. Prices haven't been right. This one did turn out right, price came out right, and I managed to get hold of one. As you can see with all my musical stuff, it's very lighty. So as I said, this thing is for DJing. It's a lot bigger than I thought. It's a large piece of kit, but it's got dials and knobs and lots of flashy lights. And it makes a noise. It's a DJ add-on. It's not a controller as such. This goes to play your samples and your add-on pieces to a piece of music in a DJ set. So you'll be playing a song and then you want an effect or another piece of music to play over it. You press it by the buttons. It does many other things that I'm not even aware of. It's a lot of practicing, a lot of stuff to play with, but a brilliant piece of kit. As I said, a piece of kit I've been after for a very long time, so this will go along with my other DJ controller with the new Traktor software. So Traktor is a DJ control software. I've been using the Deduced beforehand. This will work obviously because it's designed for Traktor. My other DJ controller has a patch that makes it work with Traktor, so I can use a DJ controller and this to play the samples and the other bits, which is the whole idea. So I'm going to get used to this. This may feature some point. I might do a bit more of a video on it, more that I get into it and the more I know about it and the more I learn about it. And when I say the cat's head fallen off, I have no idea why. 1 minute he was here, the next minute his head was hanging off, which is a shame, but it is Halloween time, it's October, so I should be able to get another one. So I want to talk about watches, mainly some of my everyday watches and the stuff it means about being a watch collector, having to fix these watches, having to have them all set up, putting in batteries, keeping them maintained, all that stuff. It's not just as simple as collecting them or trying to find that special one that you want for your collection. There's always a bit of work involved. But I also want to talk about pricing and the crazy prices that's going in the watch world at the moment, especially in the luxury watches I generally can't afford, but I really like. And I am talking about some of the more luxury watches, as I said, things like Rolexes, Patek Philippe's, those sort of things. Some of these watches that at one point a few years ago were being sold as a discount as second-hand, and now second-hand dealers have managed to push the prices up way over what they should be. Sales prices for some of these watches on the second-hand market and pre-owned market is absolutely extortionate compared to what they are new. Take, for example, the Rolex Submariner in green with a black face, the new one, which some people call a Kermit. It's come out this year. It's £7,500 from Rolex, brand new. If you're looking to buy one second hand at the moment, buy one from the grey market, they're going for double that, 14, 15 grand. And the double price is purely because the grey market sellers, retailers of pre-owned watches, will give you the impression that this thing's rare and it's very hard to get hold of. Which in many cases with Rolex is a bit of a waiting list at the moment, but it depends who you are and where you are in that waiting list. Rolex produce over 1 million watches a year. They're a mass-produced watchmaker. They're not a niche market. They don't make any rare or limited edition models. So they're not making models that you can't really get hold of. Their watches are pretty much tool watches, most of them, especially the Submariner. Submariner's a tool watch. It's a watch that's to be worn every day in stainless steel. But these dealers will try and tell you that it's worth a lot of money because it's very rare and hard to get hold of. However, look around, it's not. They're giving you a right load of old
bullshit, Mr. Handman.
And the reason they're doing that is because they want to make profits themselves. If you look on Chrono24 or any other sites, today there's over 250 green Kermit watches for sale at any one point. They are about as rare as McDonald's fries. You can get them anywhere and you can get lots of them. So they're not rare. Now everyone's asking ridiculously expensive prices for them, don't get me wrong. But those dealers can't sit on that stock. If they don't sell them and they sit there for a year at that price, they're going to lose money. So they're going to have to sell them at some point. So you could offer these guys money and you will get them less than what they're advertising them for. But don't believe the hype. Don't believe that these things are rare or difficult to find. And that is one of the biggest problems with, I think, with Brits. Brits don't shop around like other people do. You know, if you go into a shop and say, oh, what's my best price on this? They'll say, oh, we'll give you this because it's quite hard. And you go, okay, thanks, and walk out. If you've done your research and looked around, like if you're buying stuff on eBay, you look around on eBay, you see something, that's a good price, then you go, let's have a look, see how much Argos or someone's doing it for, and find out it's cheaper, you'll get a good price. So always, always, always shop around. We don't do enough of that here. Especially with these luxury watches, if they tell you it's rare, tell them, no it ain't. I can see, look, I'll show you a picture on my phone. There's 200 odd for sale. Some watches they'll tell you are rare. There's over 1,000 for sale every single day of the week. So, no. Tell them, it ain't rare. I ain't paying that. I'll pay what I want to pay for it. This is a deal I want to do. So why am I making a big deal about it? Why am I mentioning it? Well, it's sort of filtering in a way down to the smaller, cheaper, more everyday watches, which is kind of annoying. There's a diesel watch I've been after for a while. If you watch my channel on watches and you watch some of the diesel reviews, I'm always mentioning that I do want to get hold of a green one. Now, I've seen a green one recently. It wasn't the green I wanted. It wasn't a lime green. It's more of a darker green. Now, these watches, new, about 90 quid. If you can get hold of them. Now, some people have discontinued them now, so they're not that easy to get hold of. But when they were new, they were about 80 or 90 quid. £79 in some places. So they're never really expensive. All of a sudden, something's happened. And some of them have gone really stupid. So I was following a green one on eBay, like you do, because I thought, well, it's going to be cheap enough. I'll buy it. It's not quite the green I want, but I quite like the look of it. I'll have a look. I may not buy it. And it's sold over retail. A silly amount over retail. It's a second-hand watch. It's been used. It's been on somebody's wrist. You've got to remember, you're buying something second-hand, you don't get a guarantee. So there's no guarantee with it at all. You get about a week if you're lucky. It's been on somebody else's hand. Somebody else has had that on their wrist. Oil, grease, skin, water, swimming in the bath, whatever they've been doing with it. That watch has been on somebody's wrist. It's mucky. And that still relates to, you know, £20,000 watches. Somebody's got a £20,000 watch that's been worn, it's second hand. Somebody's had that whilst they've been sleeping or in the bath or cleaning the car, doing whatever. You've got to remember that when buying a second hand watch and paying a silly amount of money for it. Yeah, over retail for a used, marked, worn and worn out, in some places edges worn off, places like that, watch. No, that doesn't make sense at all. And if that's filtering down to the everyday watch, the watches that should be cheap, that's quite worrying, because I can't see why would there be somebody stupid enough to pay that kind of money for a watch that you could have got much cheaper new. And if you look around, you will still find cheaper ones new or better conditioned. So I'm not keen on that idea. That's kind of worrying me a bit. I'll keep my eye on it. As I said, I'm doing watch reviews. I've done the watch review I mentioned that I was going to do in the last video, and I said it would have been before. It isn't. It's now done. It's out. It's produced. That's a Daniel Wellington watch. I have been looking at a few other watches recently, so something else might pop up, but I don't pay silly money for them. I pay good prices for second-hand watches or unused watches, and that's what you should do. Don't get fooled by this watch hype and this watch pricing.